Welcome back to Simple Cyber Defense, the show where we take the complex world of digital threats and break it down to plain English. I'm your host, Carl. It is January 2026. Happy New Year's. We made it. But before we can dive into the new year, we have to take a hard look in the rearview mirror because, let's be honest, 2025, it was a dumpster fire for cybersecurity. And I'm not talking about spy versus spy and corporate espionage. I'm talking about regular folks, you, me, our parents, getting hammered by attacks that felt personal. In 2025, the game changed. It wasn't just about stealing credit card information anymore. It was about stealing our voices, our medical histories, our digital identities, and on a scale that we've never seen before. Today, we're going to do a post-mortem. We're breaking down the top 4 incidences from 2025 that actually affected the average person, and more importantly, the simple steps you can take right now to make sure that 2026 isn't a repeat performance. So let's get into it. Incident number 1, the big one. In June 2025, researchers called it the mother of all breaches, but I just call it the mega leak. We aren't talking about just one company getting hacked. We're talking about a massive compromise. Think about it as the greatest hit album of stolen data found on the dark web. It contains 16 billion login credentials. That's billions of emails and password credentials. So why should this matter to you? If you're someone who uses the same password for Netflix as you do for your bank, this was devastating. This leak fueled what we call credential stuffing. Hackers use automated bots to take those 16 billion combinations and try every single one of them on every site imaginable. It was the moment that finally killed the simple password. So what is your simple defense for 2026? If you keep using the password in Notebook or using passwords like password123, stop it. Today is the day you get your password manager. Let software remember the complex stuff for you, and whatever you can, switch to pass keys. They are safer and easier than passwords anyway. So let's move on to incident number 2. This is the one that generally scares me. 2025 was the year of AI voice scams went mainstream. We saw the rise of highly sophisticated grandparent scams. Why should this matter to you? In the past, you could spot phone scams because the caller sounded robotic or generic. In 2025, scammers are scraping just a few seconds of audios from people's TikToks, Instagram stories, or Facebook videos, or even sometimes just pretending to call the wrong number. You answer the phone, say a few things, and they got your voice. They used AI to clone your voices perfectly. Suddenly, the elderly parents aren't getting calls from strangers. They're getting a call that sounded exactly like you, crying, panicking, saying that you were in jail or your car was wrecked, or they needed money immediately. It bypassed our natural skepticism because of the emotional shock. It was devastating financially and emotionally. So what would be your simple defense for 2026? Technology created this problem, but old-fashioned communication can fix it. Establish a family safe word. Tonight at the dinner table, agree on a weird word like kumquat or disco. If someone calls claiming to be a family member in trouble and asking for money, ask them for the safe word first. If they can't give it, hang up. It's that simple. If you think that the safe word thing is a little too childish or not what you would want to do, one thing you could do is to agree with your family members that if they call asking for money, the first thing you'll do is hang up and call them back on a number that you know and cannot be compromised. That way, you have direct contact with them, and then you can ask them, do you really need this help? If you call back and they don't know what's going on, it's been a scam. If not, then they really need help. It's better to be safe than sorry. So now let's look at incident number 3, the healthcare data crisis. While some of this started in 2024, the full scope of it hit at 2025. We've got confirmation that major players, including United Health and Aflac Partners, had massive exposure events. We're talking about sensitive medical records, social security numbers, and insurance details of over 190 million people. So why should this matter to you? This isn't like a credit card breach. If your Visa gets stolen, you can cancel it or get a new one in a couple of days. You cannot cancel your medical history. You cannot reset your blood type. The data is forever. In 2025, we saw a huge spike in medical identity theft. That's where scammers used your leaked information to get prescriptions or expensive treatments for themselves. Suddenly, permanent medical records show that you have conditions that you don't actually have. They can affect your medical future and insurance rates. So what is your simple defense for 2026? You have to read your mail, specifically the annoying EOB, explanation of benefits. Don't just throw them out, open them. If you see any charges for a knee brace and your knees are fine, that's a red flag. Call your insurer immediately. And finally, incident number 4, the most frustrating trend of the year, the third-party breach. This is where you do everything right, you trust a reputable company, and they lose your data anyway because a company they hired got hacked. So why should this matter to you? In July 2025, a third-party database vendor got hacked, exposing millions of records from TransUnion, Farmers Insurance, and even Qantas Airlines. You couldn't have prevented this, but the fallout was personal. Hackers used this very specific real data to fuel hyper-realistic text message scams, what we call smishing. You get a text message that looks exactly like it came from your bank, referencing real information, trying to get you to click on a malicious link. So what is your simple defense for 2026? You have to adopt a zero trust policy for text messages. I don't care if the text message is in your name, if it looks like it is official. Never click on a link in an unexpected text message asking you for login information or confirmation. If you are worried about something might be real, close the text, open up the actual banking app, or go to the official website yourself. Don't let the text take you there. Looking back at 2025 seems to be very grim. It feels like we're losing ground. But there is good news for 2026. Things are not hopeless. The attackers are getting sophisticated, but the defenses remain surprisingly simple. Get a password manager. Have a family safe word or some kind of system so that you can weed out AI attacks. Check your medical statements and stop trusting text messages and links. Do these 4 things and you might just make yourself a much harder target for the average person. So thanks for joining me today, and let's make this year a safer year. For Simple Cyber Defense, I'm Carl, and stay safe out there. Thanks for listening to the Simple Cyber Defense Security Updates. Join us next time when we dive into more security issues, and make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Plus, if you have a topic suggestion or want to support the podcast, stop by our website at simplecyberdefense.com.